पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe.
Hare Krishna, everybody. We have 5 minutes to go, so maybe I'll do a quick rewind. So let's see how many are present. Okay, so if you have any doubts in particular, you can tap it in the chat box from the previous chapters. Okay, so we've finished 5 chapters so far. If you finish today's chapter, it will be 1/3. We'll be done with 33% of Gita. Congratulations on that. So, what have we discussed so far? In the chapter 1, we saw that Arjuna, or for that matter, Dhritarashtra or even Duryodhana, have different ways that they look at the battlefield. They look at the same scene, but they have different reactions. Dhritarashtra shows that bitterness in him, that tamas in him comes out. Duryodhana, on the other hand, is bitterness as well, toxic bitterness, that Rajas comes out and he starts to blame his guru and he starts to threaten his guru. Guru Ninda he starts. As one of the devotees was saying, Arjuna, being a devotee, is very sattvic, is very soft-hearted. He starts to cry. He says, I cannot fight, and he gives 5 reasons. To which, in the next upcoming chapter, Krishna responds. And it's also known as, in the second chapter, we discussed that it's known as summary of Gita. There, Arjuna gets to hear the summary of Gita and answers to his 5 dilemmas. He says, he gives 5 reasons, and all the 5 were demolished by Krishna. In third chapter, the Lord says, work can be worshipped if done in the right attitude. And in the fourth chapter, Jnana Yoga, the Lord gave a glimpse of what spiritual knowledge is and how it is to be acquired. Tadvidhi pranipatena praniprashnena sevaya upadeshanti te jnana jnaninas tattvadarshana. So we heard that and all that. In the 5th chapter, we saw that Karma Yoga is much better than Karma Sannyasa. Doing the service is doing some duty and offering the results to the Lord is much superior to not doing any duty at all, completely restraining from any activity. That's not good, the Lord says. Today, in this chapter, 6th chapter, we will discuss Ashtanga Yoga. So if you have observed, we are slowly climbing the ladder, and at the end of today's presentation, we will have a look at that ladder. So Ashtanga Yoga, we will start in 2 minutes. Ashtanga Yoga, which is also known as Dhyana Yoga. We will start this discussion in a few minutes. Let's wait for another minute or 2. I can see number is increasing. So let's hold on till then. And by the way, tomorrow, as it is Sunday, do you people want a class tomorrow, or Would you rather have a day off? It's we can You can use the chat box to answer that. Do you want a day off tomorrow, or shall we continue with the seventh chapter? It's fine by me. I don't mind. If even one says they want a day off, we can consider it. Off or continue. Okay. Happy to see that everybody wants a class. Is there anybody who doesn't want it? It's fine. Because if you have some commitments already, I wouldn't mind. Okay. I see that everybody wants a class. I'm okay. That's nice. Okay. So that has brought us to 9 o'clock. So chalo, let's start. Ashtanga yoga or dhyana yoga. Is there anybody who has never heard this terminology before? This word is new to them. You can again use the chat box or use the hand raising. Is this new or have you already heard? Heard, right? So yeah, this is like the most famous. When we hear the word yoga, this is the scene that comes to our mind. If not this, then upcoming pictures which I will be sharing. Even the International Yoga Day commemorates this yoga, although there are so many different kinds of yoga as we have discussed so far, and which we'll be discussing in upcoming classes as well. Yeah, it's in my yoga syllabus. Yes, Ashtanga Yoga. So Mataji, maybe you know what Ashtanga Yoga means. So let us go in the flow anyway. This is the Shastriya definition of Ashtanga Yoga. This picture completely covers all the aspects of it. This painting, yeah. So if we look at that picture, the same picture, we zoom out of it, we can see what Ashtanga Yoga really means. You have to look carefully at the background and the whole scenery and where he's sitting, how he's sitting, and what's happening around. You can look at the way the nails have grown out and all that. I'll share this picture again in the WhatsApp so that you can concentrate and have a look at everything. So, okay, let us have a voting. What do you think yoga is? I would rather prefer if you use the raise hand option. What is yoga? And to that, again, I will ask you another question. Is this yoga? Do you think this is yoga? It's fine if you prefer using the chat box. Is this yoga? What this person is trying to do? Is this yoga? Who thinks this is yoga? Raise your hand. If you don't think this is yoga, you may not. Okay, I'm getting all no's. Okay, that's nice. Is this yoga? Yeah. Shipra Mataji is getting close. What is this? Is this yoga or is this yoga? Let's see. Is this yoga? What this person is trying to do in the middle of the market? He has dug quite a deep hole. He has put his head in it and put some gravel on it so that there is some area for oxygen for him to reach him and he can breathe comfortably. And he is doing that, and he has put a gunny bag over here to collect coins. Can you call this yoga? Is doing this for attention or maybe money? Would you call this person a yogi? Yes. What about this? Okay, he's not asking for money, but he has put a yoga mat out and he has all these tattoos on him and he's trying to stretch his body to some sort of gymnastics. Would you call him a yogi? Again, I'm getting no's. Is yoga? Well, clearly not. And then this is there. This is trending worldwide. You just mix two popular things, beer and yoga, and call it beer yoga. I know many of you are not believing me right now. What is this? This is ridiculous. This guy is just making things up. No, right now, if you want to go ahead and Google beer yoga, I'm sure there's a whole organization that will teach you this. Doing all the asanas, but with a bottle of beer in your hand. Do all that asanas, but add one beer bottle to that. Beer yoga. Okay, just for the sake of asking, let me ask again. Is this yoga according to you? What about this? This is called goat yoga. And if you look at the yoga mat, you can see that there are hoof marks for goats to, I don't know what, I'm just imagining, maybe it's for goes to see where the markings are. Anyway, is this yoga? What do you call this yoga? This or this or this for that matter. This is called office chair yoga, I think. I don't know what it's called. Office yoga? I don't know. Not that familiar with all this. Then there is yoga for physical and mental health, yoga for pregnancy, yoga for cats. I think this is German. Yoga for success, chair yoga. Then there is a popular, maybe popular example of Hiranyakashipu. You know what Hiranyakashipu did? He did ghor tapasya. Did he do that to please anybody or did he do that to disturb people? He did such great tapasya that the heavenly planets started to have quakes. They started to move around, and all the demigods ran to their creator Brahma, saying, "Brahmaji, please solve this. We are not able to tolerate the kind of tapasya is doing. It's causing discomfort to us." Then Brahma came, and we know what happened. It's called Hatha Yoga. It's not prescribed in the Shastras. He made his some own method. It is not that nowadays people have started cooking up their own yogas. No, people have been doing it from quite some time. If you know what Ravana did, even that was his version of yoga. He was threatening Lord Shiva that I will kill myself if you don't give me what I want. Yeah, I think everybody knows that. Everybody has their own versions of yoga, isn't it? But these are not prescribed. What is the prescribed method of yoga? Yoga for wellness, yoga for back and core, desktop yoga, yoga secrets for business success, tennis yoga, office yoga, weight loss and you, and so many things are there. But what does yoga mean? What is this Ashtanga yoga? Let's go word by word. Ashtha means 8. I'm sure everybody knows this. Anga means limbs or parts. Yoga means connection. Like somebody was saying, one of the Prabhus, I think, was saying, yeah, yoga means union. Yes, yoga means connection. Yoga means union. Yeah. So, what are these 8 limbs and are they exclusive of one another? Is this exclusive of one another? Let's see what is the flow. How does it go about? Firstly comes yama, then comes niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, then comes samadhi, where darshan of Lord happens. Let us go step by step. Yama, what does yama mean? He should live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. This is external. He should live alone in a secluded place, and living alone in a secluded place, Shaucha Deshe, helps him to control his mind because there is not the noise of the town or village, people just going around with their daily life and gossiping their things. That's not there. So he can control his mind, and with controlled mind, what will he be able to achieve? We will see. Yama, that is yama. Then comes niyama. This is a commonly used word also. Niyama, temperate in his habits of eating, sleeping, working, and recreation. He makes them temperate. He doesn't go overboard with eating, nor does he go overboard with sleeping, nor working, and nor recreation. Everything is done in moderation. And we also call it. I'm following some strict rules. Niyam मैं पालन कर रहा हूँ, like that. Niyam. He puts himself through some regulations internally. Internally, he decides that he's going to reduce the portion of his eating, reduce the duration of his sleeping, not overexert himself, and so on. Then comes asana, the most popular today, made by so many yoga gurus. Asana, what? Lay kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with a deer skin. The seat should neither be too high nor too low, because if it's too high, if it's too well padded, you're going to get comfortable and you're going to fall asleep. If it's too low, it's going to be painful and you'll not be able to sit and you'll not be able to go for the next step. And should be situated in a sacred place, not anywhere in the middle of the market, like we were seeing a few slides before. Not anywhere, kahin pe bhi shuru nahi ho sakte. Ashtanga yoga, there is rules and regulations, niyam hai. So in a sacred place, one should hold one's body, neck and head erect in a straight line. and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Like some other day Mataji was saying, if we concentrate, there is soul in the tip of the nerve, near your eyes. Yeah, you stare steadily at the tip of the nose. That's where you put your concentration force at. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, especially this is the case, devoid of fear. If you observe closely here, you can see a tiger which is approaching him, but he should sit steadily and stare at the tip of his nose, and no matter what is happening around, with a subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me, the Lord says. Upon me, that is the key word. Like if I see you somewhere someday and I ask you, Prabhuji, kya kha rahe hain aap? Mataji, what are you eating? You will turn around and you'll tell me I'm eating this particular thing, this fruit or this dish or whatever. Is there ever an answer? नहीं कुछ नहीं खा रहा हूँ बस ऐसे ही. Is that ever an answer? Just like that, not eating anything per se, but that's never the answer. Similarly, when people, I used to go to a school where they used to teach meditation to us in fifth grade. So they used to say, meditate on nothingness. There is nothing, nobody but you and this empty room. There's this lamp, look at that, and steadily concentrate on that and meditate, meditate, meditate. What am I meditating on? That's a common phrase that people use. Meditate on this fact. Meditate on the statement that I made. Think about it. You will understand what I'm trying to say if you meditate on what I just said. Meditation is done on something. Meditation is not empty. You cannot ask your friend, can you fill up this glass for me? He'll ask you, with water or nothing really, just fill it up. Does that, he'll just think you're crazy. Would he be wrong to think you're crazy? Similarly, meditate upon me, the Lord says. Now, there are some people who will ask questions like, why deer skin? We'll see later. Pranayama. Pranayama, again, this is also quite popular. Something. Pranayama. What is the goal of pranayama? Practice stopping the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming and incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remain in trance. This is from the previous chapter, but pranayama we'll discuss here, so I hold it here. So the Lord says, the exhaling air that you are going to exhale, that you inhale, and the air which you are about to inhale, that should go to exhaling. So it's like a kind of anaerobic cycle. You should be able to sustain yourself on a single breath for long times. And it is mentioned in Shastras that people used to achieve anaerobic state. Even Duryodhana was quite proficient in that. At the end of the war, Duryodhana, actually, if you have studied Mahabharata to even a little extent, you might have heard that Duryodhana submerges himself in a lake and he does not want to come out of fear. And it's also known that Karna used to go to fight many wars, and when he was overpowered by the opponents, he used to just hide himself by submerging himself in some river or some lake and not come out for weeks and months together. They used to stay submerged. That ability they had, that anaerobic state they used to achieve. That's pranayama. Then is pratyahara, cessation of material existence. Like this painting we see here. Can you call him that? Can you say that he's living in the same material plane as us? Yes, he is existing. He seems to be existing on this material plane, but is he really? Pratyahara. He is not here, although he is here. Dharana. Disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires. He is said to have attained yoga. Now let's take an example. Okay, I'm in the forest, I'm sitting very peacefully, I don't want anything. Let's say I just ate something and came. And I'm not hungry, not thirsty, and I'm like, yes, I think I have achieved pratyahara. I'm about to enter dharana. Yes, and a mosquito bites you. Forget tigers and lions. One mosquito can destroy your whole meditation. But dharana is devoid of material desires. He doesn't have that eagerness to itch. No, he is situated in transcendence. He has gone beyond. Dhyana. Then comes this this is another thing that people concentrate on. Dhyan lagayenge. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist whose mind is controlled remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendental self. As he just said, meditate upon me. So when you're meditating upon the Lord, only dhyana is possible. Anytime else, your mind is going to get distracted. As some people are saying, they tried meditation. It's very difficult to control your mind, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to calm down our thoughts. We are trying to bring our thoughts down to zero, and it's not possible with meditation. It's only possible with a big heavy brick. If you have somebody to help you, you can ask him to help you stop your thoughts. He can hit you with a brick on your head and all your thoughts will stop. That's the only way your thoughts are going to stop. Otherwise, you have to engage your mind in meditation of the Lord. You think about the Lord's form, you think about the Lord's pastimes, you think about the Lord's glories and Krishna Katha, and that is meditation. The Lord says, meditate upon me. That is dhyana. And then people are like, done, ho gaya. This is where everybody stops. Next step, nobody even knows the meaning. Samadhi means they think, Samadhi is it's bad word, right? Samadhi, one is never shaken, even amidst the greatest difficulties. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. Even if the tiger comes and roars right in front of him, he is actually unable to hear because he is in Samadhi. As we discussed earlier, he is seeing Lord because Lord is in him. He is getting the darshan of Paramatma within him. He is completely drowning, or should I say, lost in darshan. Nothing is going to wake him. You cannot wake him. He is, materially speaking, you might say that he is dead, but he is more alive than anybody. That is Samadhi. Not much detail of Ashtanga Yoga is discussed in Bhagavad Gita. Very, very briefly, the Lord covers Ashtanga Yoga. There's a reason for that, because what Arjuna asks after this is going to be very, very important. So anyway, now that we have discussed briefly what Ashtanga Yoga is, how many of you people are willing to give this yoga system a try? You can raise your hand, or you can say, yes, I am. Let's have a small discussion. Are you? Who wants to go to jungle and do all these 8 steps? Okay, hands went down. Okay, hands went down. When I say all the 8 steps, hands went down. Yes, KNSD Malleshwar Rao Prabhu. Why do you think, what do you think makes you qualified to do this?
No, I am now 60 years. I most of my life I have spent, and I want to now live peacefully. Means this is only the way I think.
Yeah. So you think peace of mind can be achieved? Yes. But yes. Let us see what Arjuna says. What does Shipra Mataji have to say?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we can try, but it is definitely difficult. But at our homes on our yoga mats, we can definitely go for meditation every day.
A few slides ago, just 2 slides ago, we saw the Lord said, he did not say we can do it at our house. He said he should live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. For 10 minutes a day, Ashtanga Yoga cannot be done. The Ashtanga Yoga becomes a way of life. You go to the jungle, you live alone. There is no shopping mall. There is no grocery store. There is no food. You have to rely upon fruits from some trees and some roots of some, potatoes and sweet potatoes and all that. Fire, you have to make by yourself. And then further, you have to control your habits of eating, sleeping, and working and recreation. Then you have to do the asana for hours and hours together. Then you have to do pranayama with the goal of stopping your breath entirely. Then comes cessation of all material existence. There comes the problem, peace of mind. You're talking materially. Even peace of mind you have gone beyond. Then comes using this mind, disciplining the mental activities, becoming situated in transcendence, devoid of material existence and desires. He is said to have attained yoga. He is now attaining yoga slowly. Then comes dhyana, the process where your mind has become completely occupied in thinking about the Lord and meditating on the Lord. Then comes samadhi. And I'm asking you, who is willing to give it a try with the goal of doing all the steps? Who thinks they have a shot at doing all the steps? Because Arjuna doesn't think so. In upcoming slides, we will discuss.
Yeah. We also not in this life. probably.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. So what are we supposed to do in this life? That also the Lord will say. The Lord will say in upcoming slides. It's just body flexibility. This is not yoga. Yes, correct. In order for us, but trying to achieve. Yeah, exactly. Yoga. It's not going to be feasible. Yes, Sima Mataji, you have a question or do you have a comment?
No, I don't know whether it's a comment or a question. Hello, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
I would like to know, see, for going into all this, you definitely require a guidance, and that person should be equally good at it.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
Who do you think can guide you in this world
who has gone through
single-handedly
it?
through all these 8 processes? Who do you think has gone through in today's world? Honestly, who has gone through all these 8 processes? And most importantly, one who has achieved samadhi, you think he'll have darshan of the Lord and he'll be like, wow, okay, chalo, now I'll go to Bangalore or Delhi and train people in the metropolitan city. I will make them yogis. That's never going to happen, is it? Because he has seen the Lord himself. He has no desires left. He has achieved the highest perfection of life. He is not bothered to come down to us now.
That's the issue. Like, if
Exactly.
I want to go, whom I go to? Whom do I go
Exactly.
to?
That's the thing.
Sitting here,
That's what I wanted to arrive at.
see, I'm sitting here. I don't know of that world at all. Today, I want to learn something about science. I can come to you because
Then
you
comes
are.
another problem that even if you want to give this a try, you will go somewhere and you'll say, teach me real Ashtanga yoga. They'll say, okay, this is the membership fees. That's all fine. You join, and they're like, okay, we'll start with asanas. You'll be like, what about yama and niyama? What is this yama and niyama? I have never heard of this. Let's start with asana. Do this, do this. And they will just take you into asana. Or someone who is into and all clearing that nose, he'll say, breathe like this, breathe like that. The goal is to stop your breathing. The Lord is saying, your incoming breath has to be, and outgoing. There is no incoming, there is no outgoing, and you have to stop breathing. These people teach you how to breathe, not how to stop your breathing. And then they say, meditate on this lamp. The Lord is clearly saying, meditate on me. And he'll say, meditate in darkness, on nothingness, on zero. There is no organization that can even give you a glimpse of Ashtanga Yoga. That's what I'm trying to say here. I hope that was, yeah.
No, that's what even I want to say. See, if I have to go, I cannot go anywhere to ask. I don't know any such person.
Exactly. So what do we do instead? Let's see. Are you willing to give this a try? I can see that yes, people are interested, but they know it's going to be a hell of a lot different. But what are we willing to do in this world? What everybody is doing? We are doing this. We have 2 wheels in the front, 2 wheels in the back, and 1 wheel in the hand, and we think we will reach somewhere. Now, if you want to go from Mumbai to Pune or I don't know, Delhi to wherever you want to go from place A to place B, do you think this vehicle can help you? Who thinks this vehicle can help you? Raise your hand. In this vehicle, you can reach. Will you reach where you want to? Or let me put it in another way. There is a college there's an engineering college where they are teaching BTech, but they only have first semester, then 5th semester, and then 7th semester. All the other semesters they don't have. They only teach you 3 semesters out of 8. Okay, out of 8, 3 semesters one college will teach you. Are you interested in this college, which teaches you only 3 out of the 8 semesters? Of course not. That's the thing what we're doing in today's world. We are like, आसन हाँ करेंगे, बैठेंगे एक जगह पे. प्राणायाम हाँ क्या उसमें, क्या मच्छर भगाया हो गया. ध्यान हाँ करेंगे ना, 5 minutes every day is enough. Somewhere I read, somebody on Instagram is saying, I trust Instagram. For 5 minutes if I sit and hum, हो गया, that's meditation, हो गया. Ashtanga yoga nahi chahiye yaar. Triyanga yoga is enough. I'm telling you. Somebody will tell you. Do you think you will reach on this vehicle anywhere, or do you think you can't even start a journey in this vehicle? Is this even a vehicle? That's what I'm trying to ask. A college that only teaches you 3 out of 8 semesters, is that even a college? या बस नाम का कुछ circus चल रहा है? What do you think, Mataji?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Mataji.
Now if you say in the 3 semesters they are covering a lot of other things also.
But they'll not give you a degree certificate. Okay,
you didn't say that.
For 1.5 years.
You didn't say that.
Because you have not finished 8 semesters, how can they give you any sort of certificate? So you're like, oh, the 3 semesters to kar liya. I think I'm professional. Nobody is willing to even, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
yeah, so in this vehicle, let's come back to the vehicle example. Mataji, do you think you will reach anywhere in this vehicle? It doesn't have seat, it doesn't have roof, it doesn't even have an engine. Forget transmission, it has nothing. It just has suspension and rear axle, front axle, and a steering wheel. What it steers, I don't know. Steering wheel is not even connected to the front axle. Where do you think you will reach?
Nowhere.
Even the steering wheel will fall down right away. So that's what I'm saying. We are trying to do something that is not complete. We are trying to cook up our own thing. And here is Arjuna. Arjuna, whose concentration was such extreme that you might know the story, you might know the history of when Arjuna was being tested on day one. Drona wants to test and see who is fit for what. So when he arranges all this, he has put there is a bird on a tree, and he calls all the students, calls all the disciples, and he says, look, you have to aim at that bird and have it killed. Can you do it? So first comes, does anybody know who comes first in the arrangement? Does anybody know? So anyway, first comes nobody. Okay, first comes Duryodhan, and he says, this bird, nothing. I will uproot the tree and throw it away. That's no big deal. I will kill this bird, and the entire generation will be over. You just give me a chance. Get up, get out of the way. So Guru Drona says, no. You stop. You go away. I figured you out. You just go away. Then age-wise, everybody comes. Then comes Yudhishthir Maharaj, and when Yudhishthir Maharaj said, "Can you kill this bird?" He says, "Yes, I can throw the javelin, but the thing is, if I accidentally hit that branch over there instead of hitting right at the bird, if that another branch gets disturbed, there is a big beehive on it, and the bees might get agitated, and the bees are going to attack all my brothers and your highness. So I don't want to take a chance. I don't think it's a good idea to attack this bird because there is a risk of collateral damage." So Drona says, wow, so you're a master strategian and you're really right on the ethics of it. Your job is done. Thank you. Then many come, then Bhima comes. Bhima comes and says, okay, but wait, I can see that there are mangoes on this tree. Can I first eat the mangoes before I attack this bird? And I don't want this bow and arrow and all. These toys are not required. I'll just throw this mangoes putli and the mango seed and get rid of this bird. Then comes Arjuna and Guru Drona asks, okay, what can you see? You tell me first. He says, what is there to see? I just see the bird's eye. And Guru Drona is not able to believe. It's like, just the bird's eye, nothing else you can see. He says, no, fine, aim at it and we know the rest. That kind of concentration here. And not just concentration, he even had the ability to, we know what kind of feats he has achieved. And plus, over that, he has studied in Gurukul, which makes him eligible to live in the forest very comfortably. It's no big deal for him. Over that, he has lived for so many years in Vanavasa, which we also know. So it's nothing new to him. For us, it is new, and we think we can do it. And for him, it is nothing. It's like, okay, abhi to main jungle mein tha, phir se jaunga, kya usme? It's nothing big for him. And still, okay, let's continue with his glorious post. And physical prowess, to what to say, he did have a small exhibition match with Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva had come to test him and he was trying to see what the limits of Arjuna are. And Lord Shiva was quite impressed. So much impressed that he gave him a certificate. He gave him his Pashupatastra, which he had never given to anybody. So even Lord Shiva was impressed with the ability that Arjuna had. And if you go deeper, Arjuna is no one other than Nara. In the Naranarayana Rishi, if you know the pastimes, in Badrikashrama, Nara and Narayana deities are worshipped. And Narayana is, of course, Narayana, and Nara is our Arjuna in his past life. So he is extraordinary, there is no doubt about it. And yet he says, we come at this point, is mind a friend or an enemy? He says, I cannot do this, Krishna. I will not be able to do this because mind is very fickle. He says, I can concentrate for a while, But dhyana, dharana, samadhi, I don't think I can achieve, my Lord. I see you right ahead of me. That is your mercy to me, but I don't think I can go and sit in a forest and meditate upon it. That's going to be quite difficult. He doesn't say quite difficult. He says, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadhradam tasyaham nigraham manye vayo rivasu dushkaram. He says, for the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna. And to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind, because he has the ability to control wind. He has divine weapons which can either speed up the wind, stop the wind, or make the rain pour down. He has all kinds of abilities. But he says, mind, I cannot control, my Lord. What do I do? Chanchala hi mana Krishna. I cannot do it. So, Bhagwan, Sri Krishna says, Sri Bhagwan Vacha, Asamshayam hi mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagena sagrahayate. The blessed Lord said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, the Lord knows. But it is possible by constant practice and by detachment, the Lord says. Still, it might be possible. You have to constantly try and practice. Yes, with practice, anything can be achieved, but there is a limit to how much we can practice. No matter how much you practice, me and you won't be able to lift up a hill. Yeah, maybe this big of a rock, maybe this big of a rock, but will you ever be able to lift up a whole mountain, practically speaking? Is it even worth starting to practice such a thing? I don't know, you tell me. Then comes the beautiful shloka, 6.6. Mandhuratmatmanastasya yena atmaiva atmana jitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vartet atmaiva shatruvat. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his very mind will be the greatest enemy. Anybody who has been through college or school even knows what this shloka means exactly. Mind is a friend or an enemy, because I remember mind used to be a friend back once upon a time, but nowadays mind is out to get me, as if I have done something bad to this mind. Mind has taken a grudge match against me. I think it's going to end up destroying me only. Isn't it? Don't we feel like that sometimes? Arey yaar, maine kya bigada hai? Why am I destroying my own life? Again, we discussed in a few chapters earlier. It's because intelligence has to be above mind. But what we have done is we have given intelligence as a toy to the mind. What I'm saying is, computer is supposed to be used by us. But if you read some psychology articles, even psychologists have figured it out. They're saying we are not using computer. Computer is using us. Like, for example, if you go to YouTube, it will figure out what you want based on your age group. If you have an account on YouTube, it knows what age you are, what is your gender, and based on whatever data they have, they will start throwing rubbish ads at you. They'll start giving you movie trailers saying, watch this, no. And so that you keep engaged. And what do they get by that? They get to show you ads. And by showing you ads, they make money. What's Facebook doing? Exact same thing. They will see where you're living, what the political situation is, and based on that, it will try to share that content with you, which will keep you engaged. And you're not using the Facebook is using you. You're not using YouTube is using you. Even the saddest thing is, even in amazing channels, even in my Prabhu's channel, where Prabhu is taking class, the ad which comes is irrelevant and bogus and nonsense. Based on your age group, some ad will come. Why don't you buy this? Why don't you? It's all they're trying to sell ad. What is happening? Mind is using your intelligence as a toy. Whereas mind should be your intelligence's toy. It should be under intelligence's control. But no, I know I'm intelligent. I have a good mind, but balance has gone off. My intelligence is being played with my mind. It's quite sad. But Lord says, one who has conquered his mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, mind is the greatest enemy. No, your greatest enemy is your own mind, and also your greatest friend, based on who's on top, your mind or intelligence. Another analogy can be, mind is like fire. When controlled, it can make miracles happen. Like we have this, rockets and planes and cars and so many other things. Miracles, it can make magics happen. But when out of control, what can it do? It can burn everything inside. when I was making this PPT, when I was making this presentation, there was California fires happening, I think, and it was quite scary. So it was relevant back then. Yes. So one spark can burn down the entire forest, or that same spark can, just like the rocket ignition, it ignites, starts from a spark. So it can make amazing things happen, or it can destroy everything. Mind is like that. Mind can actually, many doctors will agree to this. They know this. Mind can make us physically, sick. It can make you sick. For example, blood pressure. What is the real cause for blood pressure? Mind. I'm overthinking. I'm over worrying. I'm over attached. I'm so distressed that causes my blood pressure to rise up because heart is beating too hard. Diabetes. Yes, the too much anxiety can cause diabetes because your body starts to think that you're in some kind of calamity, and body starts to produce, glucose goes up so that you can, if you have to run, so that you can run, the fuel goes up. It can cause ulcers. People who have a lot of tension, they have stomach ulcers, or even in the buccal cavity they get ulcers. And this ulcer can actually cause cancer, which is also very well known. Alzheimer's disorder can happen. Your mind can make you completely sick, and at the same time it can also cure majority of diseases known to man. It is known as placebo effect. It is actually a well-known fact. Even corona, it has the power to cure. If a world famous doctor comes and gives you one empty capsule and says this is the best medication for corona, take this, there is every chance that you might be cured just by this. That's called placebo effect, and the reverse is called nocebo effect. I'm sure many of you know what this is. So it is a well-known fact that mind is the greatest enemy and the greatest friend for health, for wealth, and for spiritual success. Whatever it is, mind can help you do it, or mind can destroy you. So how would you prefer? You prefer mind to be a friend, or mind to be an enemy? But irony is, when mind is trying to be your friend, you start hating your mind. Happened in the beginning. I was like, I would like to do that, but mind says, no. Rohan, you can instead read some Bhagavad Gita, you can read some Prabhupada books. There is that beautiful book, PQ, Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. Why don't you read that? I'm like, oh mind, you're so boring. I used to have a conversation with my mind. Why have you become so boring? In the beginning, when your mind is getting stronger and stronger, intelligence has come above mind, you will yourself start hating your mind. This will happen. While when your mind is trying to be an enemy, saying, hey, you know what? Don't study for tomorrow's exam. Let's do this instead. Let's spend 2 hours in brainless cartoon. Let's watch Tom and Jerry, or let's watch Chota Bheem. Your mind is being your enemy, but you're like, wow, mind, that's a brilliant idea. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, wait, I did think of that. So when your mind is trying to be your friend, you will start having this friction. But when your mind is trying to be an enemy, you'll be like, yes, let's do that. Yeah, that sounds like a very good idea. That's very ironic. But now comes the question, okay, Arjuna says, Ashtanga Yoga, yes. But there is all chances of somebody failing, isn't it? What do you think is the chances of someone failing in Ashtanga Yoga? Okay, I want to give it a try. I start. What is the chances of me being successful? Use the chat box and give me your approximation. What is the chances that I'll be successful? 50% chance. All the 8 steps I will conquer. Yama, Niyama, Asana, and all that I'll conquer and reach Samadhi. What is the chances of that? Okay. That is the best answer I got. Nil. The chances of my success are nil. Yes. Anybody else thinks, is there a 50% chance? 10% chance? Everybody is saying there is no chance. Especially in Kali Yuga, we can all agree, nobody has a chance. Okay, let me not generalize. Nearly nobody has a chance. Maybe one person on this planet Earth has the ability, maybe 2, maybe 10. But practically speaking, in a population size of 7 billion, let's be honest, it's nil, zero, none, no chance. That's why Arjuna says, okay, but what is the destination of someone who fails achieving success in yoga? If he achieves success in yoga, he got Lord, he is in Samadhi, he has achieved Lord, he goes back to Vaikuntha or whatever he desires. But what if someone fails? What happens to a failed yogi? Yeah, that's a common question, no? Even during joining a college, I used to feel like, what if I fail in this course? What is my plan B? we always think of plan B. So Arjuna is asking, what is plan B, Krishna? So that's the 37th shloka Arjuna asks. So in the 41st shloka, the Lord says, after many years of enjoyment on planet of pious living entities, that is in Swarga with all the great demigods, whom we love so much, whom we have worshipped all our life. After many years of enjoyment on the planets of pious living entities, this person is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. He gets birth in a wonderful family. Why? He takes birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Verily, such birth is rare in this world. Because of his amazing attempt, even attempting this, he has got a great benediction. He gets a birth in a wonderful family so that he can continue much easily, so that he can start his journey much sooner than the last time he did, because starting a journey earlier increases your chances of success. So that's what the Lord is saying. He says, after taking birth, after years and years of enjoyment on heavenly realms, he comes down into an amazing family and he gets a chance to try again. That's amazing. So who is the greatest yogi? Now we have discussed so many. Who do you think is the greatest yogi? A karma yogi, a jnana yogi, a ashtanga yogi, an ashtanga yogi, or a bhakti yogi? Then now we come to the ladder. Karma yoga, then jnana yoga, then ashtanga yoga or bhakti yoga. Then, or do you directly come to bhakti yoga? A person who is spiritually inquisitive, we were discussing a little bit of this yesterday. One of the Prabhus was asking, which yoga is best? A person who is spiritually inquisitive starts in the most basic type of service for temple, which is also known as karma yoga. As per his ability, he works for the Lord. You have nothing, you start plucking flowers for the Lord. You come and give it in the temple, say, please offer this to the Lord on my behalf. You might help cleaning the temple or cleaning outside the temple. We see this in villages and all. There are Matajis who will go outside temple and clean it, so that it's their way of serving. Yes, amazing, very, very good. Or some who cannot do work, who do not have time to pluck flowers, do not have the strength, let us say, to clean the temple. They make monetary donation. They give 60, 100, 500, 1,000, 10,000 rupees to the temple, saying, let the worship of the Lord, let the seva to the Lord happen very nicely. That is karma yoga. Yeah, we can understand that. I'm sure everybody has experience of one of these. We have taken flowers to the temple. Yeah, is there anybody who has never had an experience of any of these? Not likely. But now happens the transition. Now comes the next step. While practicing this little karma yoga, little service that he does, he meets many jnanis and gets involved in cultivation of jnana. This is jnana yoga. Like one day he came to give flowers, and one of the, let's say, priest was there, and he says, you know what, there is some time for the worship to start, so why don't we talk for a while? And then discussion starts happening. He talks about the Lord's glory, and the person who was just sweeping the temple starts to get interested in jnana yoga so much that he loves the jnana so much that he starts to get interested in it, and comes early. Next day comes another half an hour early. Next day comes 1 hour early, and he loves this discussion, and he gets engaged in cultivation of jnana. Yeah, is it making sense so far? He gradually starts to understand that he is not the body. As jnana develops, he starts to understand that he is not the body. Paramatma resides within his heart, and he wishes to realize this. He is like, okay, theory to pata chal gaya, abhi mere ko practical chahiye. Okay, F is equal to ma, I came to know, but let me see if this 5 kg ball thrown at 1 meter per second, move this 1 kg ball at 5 meter per second. He wants to see experimentally if it makes sense. And for that, for the realization, he moves to the forest and observed. He used to move to the forest. Now, if you go to the forest, you'll not find any, Shaucha Deshe is not there. So, there is no pious place left. You'll only find naxals or, nonsense activities happening in the forest. But anyway, back in those days, there used to be arrangement. For the realization, he used to move to the forest and observe Ashtanga Yoga properly, because he has cultivated jnana very nicely. And as mentioned in this chapter, he, at the end, after many years, he achieved samadhi. And also it is known that back in the days, people used to live really long. lifespan used to be much, much greater than 100 years even. So they had good amount of time. They could, if they failed, they used to try again, fail, try again, then done, yama is done. Then they practice niyama properly. Then they slowly enter asana, and they used to achieve these 8 steps properly, and let's say graduate to samadhi. But that's not the end. Once he sees the Lord eye to eye, he has nothing but love for him, and he completely collapses at the feet of the Lord. He surrenders to Krishna and becomes a bhakta and gets involved in the highest yoga practice, which is bhakti yoga, like Hanuman. Now let's again take Hanuman, our favorite example. If Hanuman, of course, Hanuman is busy in meditation and all that, but when service arises, can he say, Lord, I'm just 15 minutes more, I'm meditating. Just in 15 minutes I will come. Would this ever happen? That's again prove logically why Bhakti Yoga is supreme. Yeah, what would Hanuman do? Would he immediately get up and come, or would he say, "Nahi, just give me 15 more minutes"? That is why we can easily understand Bhakti Yoga is the highest of all practices. Bhakti Yoga is also called as Buddhi Yoga because it is the smartest of all yogas and has the merits of all the other yogas while having the demerits or limitations of none. Like a Bhakta is also engaged in plucking flowers, cleaning temple, making monetary donations. Bhakta also develops jnana because he studies all the words of Krishna. He studies Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Bhagavata Purana. He studies Bhagavad Gita. He studies Chaitanya Charitamrita. He studies everything. He has jnana also. Ashtanga Yoga, he sits very nicely, beautifully, and he chants because he loves the Lord so much. And this chanting process also has a, a pranayama effect on you because you have to chant and it goes on and on for hours. So you have a very, very metered breathing. So all the Ashtanga Yoga, if you look deeply, many great devotees have made videos on this where they explain how in Japa meditation itself, Ashtanga Yoga also comes. And of course, he is a devotee, he is always surrendered to the Lord. So all these yoga systems, which we just saw one slide ago, all these yoga systems, juice or the concentrate is there in Bhakti Yoga. That is why it is called as Buddhi Yoga. We hear nowadays smartphone, smart TV, smart AC, smart home. Where did they get this idea of making everything smart? First, it started with Buddhi Yoga, smart yoga, because okay, there's lightning happening over here. It started with Buddhi Yoga, smart yoga. Wouldn't you be interested in smart yoga? Android 9.2. I don't know which Android is the latest one now. This is the smart yoga because it has the merits of all and limitations of none. So the Lord says, of all yogis who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is highest of all. So he says, Bhakti, a person who is worshipping in loving service. Loving service is the most important. That's the most intimate, and that is the person who achieves the highest of all. The shloka is Yoginam api sarvesham madganta antaratmanaha Shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamomataha. It is 47th shloka. Now, here is the painting of gopis with Krishna. It is again a very, very misinterpreted Western perspective that we have. Does anybody know who gopis are? Are they just ordinary people? Does anybody know? You can use the chat box or raise your hand. Who are gopis? Does anybody know who gopis used to be? Nobody? You can raise your hand. Maybe nobody knows who gopis are. They're special, right? Okay, there is one right answer. Let's see. Sima Mataji, you raised your hand first. Do you know who gopis are?
I think they were the Ganas. I mean, Gandharvas and Ganas, they say, no?
Yeah, but where do they come from?
That I don't know.
You are close, but let's see. Home folder, Prabhuji, Mataji.
Hi.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. I think they were the gods or demigods, but the reason why they transformed into gopis because they wanted to enjoy dancing with Krishna, and the only reason they could do it is by converting into gopis, and then they could be part of this Ras Leela.
Yes. So two answers I'll combine. Yes, you people are quite knowledgeable already. That's very nice. Easy for me. There is one answer here which is saying that they They were rishis in Rama's time, Lord Rama's time, and there is another answer who is saying they were demigods who wanted to be with Krishna, and you just said yes, they were Devi Devatas. Yeah, what happened is in Treta Yuga, after the whole Kanda is over, the Lord Rama returns to Ayodhya. Well, actually, sorry, it was in Aranyakanda when the Lord arrives in the forest. This happens. All the rishis are obviously in the Vana as well. So they come running, hearing that the Lord is in the same forest. So all the neighboring forests, all the rishis come running. They are not ordinary rishis. They are maharshis. They are great yogis. And they say, "My Lord, done. This is the happiest we've done. Our whole life is. This is what we lived for. Now we just want to serve you as your wife." Is that because a wife and a husband, the kind of service that a wife does to the husband is the supreme. There is nothing about that. The kind of service that a wife gives. They say, "We just want to serve you as wife," and they are rishis. They have the ability to, change their form into a female form. But the Lord says, "No, not in this life. In this life, I've taken the vow of being a husband to only your mother Sita. But in the next life, I'll come in my true form. All you have to do is come to Vrindavan as ordinary girls, and even demigods will join you. And then will I give you the opportunity." And hence, all these gopis are extraordinary devotees of the Lord who have been waiting for millions and millions of years just to get a glance of Krishna. So that is Rasa Leela. This is loving exchange between the Lord and the most intimate devotee. It's very misinterpreted. That's very sad. But what can you do? We live in such a world. Yoga, the spiritual practice. There are different yoga practices for different yogas. Krite yadhyayato Vishnu. Krita is Satyoga. Satyoga dhyana of Vishnu was suggested. Kretayam yajato mahai. In Treta Yoga, you're supposed to do yagya. You're supposed to make huge sacrificial offerings. Dwapare paricharyayam. In Dwapara Yuga, many temples were built because that is what was suggested. Kings had the ability. Many temples from Dwapara Yuga are there today, which we know, and some have been broken down. That's okay. Kalau tad hari kirtana. Srimad Bhagavatam 12th canto 3rd chapter 52nd shloka. Bhagavata Purana, this is mentioned. Kalau tad hari kirtana. In Kali Yuga, kirtana is to be done. Satya Yoga, meditation on Vishnu. Treta Yoga, performing expensive sacrifices which we cannot afford now. Satya Yoga, their lifespan were thousands and thousands of years. They could do that meditation on Vishnu. That's why the Lord doesn't spend a lot of time explaining what Ashtanga Yoga is, because it was for nearly 3 yugas ago. Doesn't apply for people of this age, so it just skips a little faster. Treta Yoga, performing expensive sacrifices. We can barely afford ghee for eating. How will you offer ghee for sacrifice? Dwapara, elaborate temple worship, temple building. That's why we have so many temples all around the world, even in, maybe in Iran, Iraq, and Indonesia, Vietnam. We're finding so many temples from thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. And Kali Yuga, what is to be done? Kali Yuga, in case you did not know, this is Kali Yuga. You're supposed to chant the holy names of the Lord. And who started this whole chanting, officially inaugurated the chanting movement? It was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why we have discussed that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Pranam Mantra is Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauram. Then we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. We finish 1 round at least per day. I hope everybody is. Then comes a lift and staircase example. All these methods are staircase. They take us slowly closer to Krishna. Takes a little effort and doesn't happen instantly. Takes time and effort. But japa doesn't take that much effort, doesn't take that much time as well, but it's like a lift. It just takes you, whoosh. How much ever deeply you chant, that much faster you reach. What is a mantra? Mantra. Man means mind, and tra means to cut or control or stop. You want to stop this uncontrollable mind, chant. Whenever you chant the names of the Lord, there is no chance that you're going to have these bad thoughts that are trying to destroy your life, which is the mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. If I do it like this, it is Sankirtan. If I do it loudly, like I played in the beginning, Hare Krishna, like that. And becomes Sankirtana when it's in congregation, when it's in a big group. Many scriptures also have references for the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. In I think Naradiya Samhita, it is there that Vapair Janer Vishnu. I'm not able to read this. It was made in a Mac OS, and I'm reading it in the age of Kali. People should simply chant the holy name of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'm not able to read that. So. And in Kali Sandarana Upanishad, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti Shodashaka Nam Kali Kalmachanashanam, Natha Paraturopaya, Sarva Vedeshu Prashyate. We were discussing the other day this shloka. After searching through all Vedic literature, one cannot find a method of religion more sublime for this age than chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. Also, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nastyaiva Gatiranyata. Nastyaiva. 3 times it is mentioned in Adi Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, 17.21 it is mentioned. In this age of quarrel, Kali Yuga, and hypocrisy, where we're surrounded by hypocrites, the only means of deliverance is chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way, and there is no other way. And also in Srimad Bhagavata Purana, 12th cantos, 3rd chapter, 51st shloka, Shukadev Goswami instructs Parikshit Maharaj, grandson of Arjuna. He says, Kaler Dosha Nidhi Rajan Asti Eko Mahan Guna Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangat Param Vraje. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, we can all agree to that. We know that Kali Yuga, well, it's difficult to find something good about Kali Yuga. Does anybody know anything good about Kali Yuga? Anybody has something good to say about Kali Yuga? Let us see. I'm sure everybody has lived in Kali Yuga for a long time. We only have experience of Kali Yuga. So, what is good about this Kali Yuga? Yes, Simamata, what do you think is good? Don't give answer from this slide. Don't cheat.
No. That means I will know only about this life, no?
Okay. Even in previous yugas, you only had memories of this life.
Whatever I have read, I can tell you. That's all.
Many saints have emerged.
Yes, saints have come. We have good saints here.
Yeah. Why? But why have they come? What have they come to tell us? In Karnataka, this is there was one saint called Purandara Dasa. He used to say Harinama one day, sir. He used to say all you need is Harinama. That's all you need. Nothing else you need. Harinama.
Even we had Tulsidas.
Yes, and what did he say?
Again, he was Ram Bhakta.
He said chant. Everybody has said to chant. Yes, many saints have arisen, and what they told us to chant. And that is the only good thing about this Kali Yuga, that the process is so much simplified. You don't have to go to the forest. You don't have to put a deer skin on the floor, which I was expecting somebody will ask. Maybe we'll say at the end. And there is no need of, big yagyas, nothing. You have to sit wherever you are, and you have to give the Lord your time and some of your energy, and the Lord is happy. See, my dear king, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. Kaler Dosha Nidhi Rajan. It is nothing but treasure of dosha, filled with negativity. Asti Eko Mahan Guna. But there is one amazing great thing. Kirtana Deva Krishnasya. All you have to do is Kirtana of Krishna. Mukta Sangat Param Rajet. One can become free from material bondage and be promoted to transcendental kingdom. Such an amazing shortcut. And also again in this scripture itself, in the 10th chapter, 25th shloka, the Lord is again going to say, Yagnanam Japa Yagnas. He says, best of all the yagyas is not fire, is not ghee, is not any of those. It's just japa. Such a simple of sacrifices. I'm chanting of the holy name of the Lord. What to do while chanting? Chant the Panchatattva mantra before chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura. This is the mantra. Chant this before you start. Do's for chanting. Another do. Chant audibly. Not so loud that you disturb the whole neighborhood, nor so lightly that you yourself cannot hear. It should be like a shower in the name of the Lord. You should be able to immerse yourself. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One of the volunteers in the morning shared the Prabhupada's chanting recordings. Pronounce each name distinctly. It's not Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare, no, not like that. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare. Don't hurry. You don't have. If you don't do it right, what's the point? Chant with respect and devotion and concentration. Right? Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare. What's happening? No, not like that. Respect. It's the Lord has come Himself as His name. So be very respectful. Have devotion and concentrate on each word, each syllable. You can chant in any place, sitting or walking, facing in any direction. There is no such rule. Whichever direction you are looking at becomes auspicious. Wherever you are sitting becomes auspicious. Whatever time it is, it becomes auspicious. Even during Rahu Kala, if you chant, it will the time will become auspicious. Do not worry about any of that. You can chant at any time. However, it is recommended to chant early in the morning during Brahma. But to start, you start somewhere. You can chant either before or after taking bath. There is no such regulation that only after, before I have time, but I haven't taken bath, so I'll not do japa. No, do japa. It is recommended to chant by keeping a count. Yeah, some people say, but I chant whole day. Why do I have to keep count? We are not there yet. I am not there yet. Maybe you are. It's best to keep count because if you don't keep count, how will you track your progress? When people go for jogging for fitness, they like to measure how far away they went. They have that step counter, pedometer, and all that. When such nonsense things they want to keep count, such amazing thing of doing japa, why would you not want to keep count? Best to keep count. Don'ts of chanting, one should not chant only a portion of Maha Mantra. It's not Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chant the whole mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare, and so on. One should not chant on the Krishna bead of Japamala. If you do not have a Japamala, you might not know, but on the Japamalas, there is usually this bead called as Krishna bead. Don't chant over it. When you reach here, you go back. And you come here and you go back. Come here and you go back, and so on and so on and so on. Don't chant over it. If you don't have a Japamala yet, you can order it from our website, iskonmangaluru.com. I will share the link again tomorrow because I forgot yesterday. And also you'll get books along with it. You'll get 6 books, which is the course material for this whole course. It's not a compulsory thing, but it's nice to have these books because you can continue the studies at your place by yourself. Like Mataji was saying, somebody we need to guide. So you will have these books to guide you. You get 3 books and a Japamala. So of course you can always feel free to order. If you check online on Amazon, the prices are higher on Amazon. We have tried our best to bring the price down by having an arrangement with the courier partner and all that. One should not chant while reading a book or a newspaper or watching TV. No, that's very disrespectful. It's like you've called somebody to your home and you're like, "Hut to bed, I'm watching some news." No, when somebody is at your home, you attend to them. But when the Lord's name itself, when the Nama Prabhu has himself come to you, how can you do something else but pay attention to the Lord's names? What is the benefit of chanting? Freedom from reactions of sin and also from freedoms of reaction of punya. But don't worry, we will discuss that some other day. Relief from unwanted drives and habits. If you're chanting, how your thought will never waver. You're never going to feel like, chalo aaj peete hain, chalo thoda cigarette smoke karte hain. That thought will never come. So you get that immunity from such thoughts. In our present conditions, we are slaves to our whimsical thoughts and desires, like we were discussing. Mind is not under control of intelligence. Freedom from anxiety and stress. There is always this stress and anxiety that surrounds us. We are always under pressure. What's going to happen? What do I do? Oh, just chant. That's the only thing in your control, and the Lord will guide you from within. Peace of mind, undoubtedly, and real happiness will be yours, and enlightenment. Because when you're chanting the name of the Lord, so many things are revealed from inside. So many things that you had never seen it that way, but it's going to be revealed once you start chanting. Start with 1 round. Target is 16 rounds a day. That's what devotees chant. 16 rounds a day takes 1.5 to 2 hours 15 minutes also. But let's start with 1 round. Let's start with 1 round. Just like smoking starts with 1 cigarette and then people become chain smokers. Let something good also start with something small. Then we can build on that. This is the summary of this chapter. The slides will be shared with you on WhatsApp. And now we can take questions. And people who are short on time can leave. It's okay. We'll just have a discussion. People who want to be a part of the discussion can stay. 16 rounds in one book. No, it's okay. If you break it down, it's okay. But start with one round, goal is 16 rounds. Some people do not find time. In the morning, they do 8 rounds. Like a cousin of mine, he does not find time in the morning. So he does 8 rounds in the morning. Then he gets ready. And then he does 8 rounds in the taxi on the way to the office. And then while coming back from the office on the taxi, he does another few rounds. So yeah, you can break it down. But 16 rounds is the goal. Is the basic goal, is the first one. Yes. Shipra Mataji, you have a question?
Yeah. Prabhuji, I have 2 questions.
Yeah,
The
Mataji.
first is like you said, like everybody says that in Kali Yuga, Naam Jap is the best form of yoga. So, but where does it mention that we have to do Naam Jap with this Mahamantra only? We can say Hare Krishna or Ram or.
Here I mentioned it in Kali Santarana Upanishad. It is mentioned Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Iti Shodashaka. These 16 Shodashaka means 60. Iti Shodashaka Namanam Kali Kalmasha Nasanam. If you want to destroy the Kalmasha of Kali Yuga, this is the only way. Natha Parataropaya, there is no other way. Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. All the Vedas are saying the same. In Kali Santarana Upanishad, it is said, and many other places. I'm just not able to recall right now, but I will share an article about that where you can cross reference.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the second part is if Naam Jap was sufficient, then why some people who went ahead of us normal people who did leave their homes and went to go to live in temples and started the Naam Jap, why were they deviated from their path? Say some gurus, and for example, when I was going through the net, some people from ISKCON only, why were they deviated from their paths? If the chanting could not bring them from their vices, then what about us?
I don't know who exactly you're talking about, but there are always exceptions, and we should not, concentrate on exceptions. The method given to us by Krishna, the method given to us by Prabhupada, has worked for more than 99.999%. Well, of course, many people go to great colleges. Yes, many people fail out of IITs, but does that mean it was IIT's fault or was it the students' fault? Me, for example, if I'm taking my own example, I failed a lot of subjects in the first year of engineering. It was my fault. I cannot say, hey, teachers were not right. Everybody in my class passed. I failed. Whose fault is it? It's mine. So I cannot blame the school, college, or
I'm not generalizing, because there are good people and bad people everywhere, in every profession, in every organization.
they have not followed the process perfectly. There might be 100 different reasons. And if you ask them personally, they will tell you what went wrong. And I'm sure you will find interviews where they will tell you what went wrong, but they never have a bad opinion about the process. Process works. As long as you do justice to it, it will do justice to you.
Yeah, that is what. That is why I was wondering, is there something else to it apart from the chanting? Like
chanting, and there is one more thing. That is where many of people fall down. Chanting. To that, there is another small thing to be added. That we will add as we go forward. Let's do it slowly. There is one more thing to be added to chanting. But right now I said chant 1 round a day. So try to taste, you will find taste in it. Then I will tell you the small next thing. It is nothing to add. I will tell you what to do later. Is that okay? That is the crucial thing to be added. We'll discuss that later.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shobha Mataji is asking when the next batch for learning Bhagavad Gita starts. I think it starts on February 1st. And you can go to again iskonmangaluru.com. All the details are up, I believe. So that's the next batch starting date. Yes, Umu Mataji, you have a question? Seema Mataji, yeah.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
I would like. Hello.
Oh, sorry, you go.
Yeah, Mataji. Umu Mataji, I'll come back to you in a minute. Yes, Seema Mataji.
Okay. Yeah. I would like to know, you keep saying about mind and intelligence. I would like to know how will I know what is the mind dictating and what is the intelligence saying?
Which is mind, which is intelligence. Mind, I'll give you a very small example. Again, I think it's a repeated example. something that is good for you and there is something that is bad for you. You know what is good, you know what is bad. But sometimes you end up doing the bad thing anyway. That is because you are listening to the mind. And sometimes you wanted to do the bad thing and still you did the good thing because intelligence was in control of the mind. That's the simplest
But
way I
every
can.
time you can't keep doing good, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about, but we should always do good. There is the option, the other option should never exist.
Oh, okay, okay.
We should not even look at the other option. Like we were discussing yesterday. Yes, a Brahmana is going across the road. He doesn't even see the bar and restaurant. A real Brahmana is one who, it's not the person who's like, oh, there's a bar and restaurant, let me cross the road. It's okay if there is traffic, I will still cross the road. No, a person doesn't even see that it exists, has reached that level. And yes, you will, with practice and with time, you will reach that level where you will not notice bad things. It will actually happen. You will feel like, wow, everybody is so nice. Right now, we feel like we're surrounded by a person who wants to do this and that. But as japa goes on and on, you will feel like, wow, why is everybody so nice to me? It will actually happen. You will see it happen.
Okay. Thank. And one more question it is.
Yes.
Hello. It is Krishna addresses Arjuna in so many ways. Like he'll say him Parth, or he'll call him Dhananjaya, or he'll call him Kante.
Okay, yes.
And is it related to that advice that is giving
Yes,
him?
it is always. I was going to discuss this in our upcoming chapters to show how close Krishna and Arjuna are. They are always using sarcasm. Sarcasm is a modern word where one friend is pulling leg of another, but actually it has been happening for many, many years. Krishna is pulling Arjuna's leg and Arjuna is pulling Krishna's leg. He says, when Krishna says, nothing, you have to go and kill your grandfather and whoever they are, you have to go and kill them. Arjuna says, but Janardana, why are you asking me to do such a thing? Because Janardana means a person who is supposed to do nothing but good for this world. And you say, Janardana, you're supposed to bring fortune to this world, but you're giving me such unfortunate advices. They're always having this leg pulling.
Okay.
But that thing ends near 10th and 11th chapter. That's where I will discuss this much deeper.
Okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Pumata. For a second, I think. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Anyway. Yeah. Who has a question? Either Nidhi Mata. Yeah, Nidhi Mata, you ask yours.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay, so my question is, during Ashtanga Yoga, you told that sadhus, they sit on deer skin for performing Ashtanga Yoga.
Why deer skin, right?
Why deer skin, and from where do they get the deer skin? Is it from a dead deer, or do they kill deers to get the skin? So,
it's usually from a dead deer, but if the person who is doing Ashtanga Yoga used to be a Kshatriya before, he has a collection of deer skin, doesn't he? Because he used to go hunting. So now coming to the question of why deer skin? Why deer skin? Because first of all, he is sitting on kusha grass. Have you ever sat in the lawn? In our college, though we didn't have lawn, but I'm sure you have sat on the lawn somewhere. And it's quite prickly. It's very difficult to sit on lawns. It's either ticklish or very painful because it really hurts you. So in that case, what do? You need something in the middle of the deer skin and the seat that you're sitting on. So that's why deer skin, first of all, gives you protection from the prickling of the kusha grass or the lawn. Second of all, it is known that snakes do not. There is always going to be snakes in the forest, and snakes will not come too much close to it. They cannot climb on top of deer skin because deer skin does not have that kind of friction or some. I don't know the exact details, but you have protection from snakes and scorpions and other venomous creatures. So that gives you one step ahead, another stage of success, because otherwise it's quite painful. Scorpion bite, if you have ever had it, it's very, very painful and it's going to destroy days and days of your schedule. So that's why deer skin used to be used, and usually it used to be of a dead deer. Yes.
okay, so
another thing is, it's very difficult to find dead deer in the wild. Deers usually end up getting killed by either tiger or lion or some other animal of prey. So you find dead deer you used to find dead deer quite commonly because tigers do not prefer the skin. What they want is the inside.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, finally. Now I'll not take away your turn. Kumu Mataji, you go ahead.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I have a question from yesterday's session. First, I will go with that. We were discussing about the heart transplantation and the soul transfers, right? So, for example, if there is a will for the donor to live and their soul is getting into the recipient, and what is going to happen for the recipient soul? So are they going to have the dual soul, the recipient, or how both the souls are going to?
You're talking like it's a phone, dual core and all that. I'm not exactly an expert on that. I've not done much of research, but two souls existing in one body is also mentioned. It's known as Parakaya Pravesha. But then again, it gets very gray because not a lot of scientific research has been done on that. So whatever I speak will be a guesswork, and I would not prefer to speak my mind because it's not my opinion.
Sure.
I don't have any hardcore facts to back anything that I claim. So I don't know.
Okay. So sorry, since I asked this question, is like we are discussing about the soul transfer and their knowledge and all those stuff. So I got a question. So what happened to the soul which already they have? And another question is like regarding the japa. You said when we japa, you said we should not watch TV, no distraction, only japa. So in your cousin's example, so when he is driving or when
he's not driving, he's in a taxi.
Okay, so if he's in taxi, so he will have a diversion, right? So is it okay? We can do japa.
You should meet him. He's quite advanced. No, he does not get distracted. He has that weird shut off button. Just when he's doing japa, he's in that japa. If you call him also, it's barely. First of all, he's a little bit sleepy, but during japa, no, he's quite advanced. He doesn't get distracted. And also, he's not a small boy who will be looking out a window, and it'll be in the morning at 4:35 or something. There's nothing to see outside. It's very dark and boring. So I don't think it gets distracted.
Early in the morning. Okay.
Early in the morning, what will distract you outside? It's so boring. Shant.
Yeah, but in the middle of the day with so many noises, horns and all those stuff, with ordinary layman, we can't do that, right? So
I'm not saying he's extraordinary, he's a yogi or anything, but he is managing.
At least he's able to control his mind. Yes, so one round is 108 times, you mean? Okay. Thank you.
There is an answer from Bhavana Mataji. Tamal Krishna Maharaj in one lecture said, soul in the region of the heart, and there is not typical organ of the heart. That's why during heart transplant, soul doesn't get transferred. In the typical region of the heart, in the Akash, okay. See, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, I'm not even nobody in control. Anyway, you can have a look at Bhavana Mataji's answer. I will just share it again. To everyone, this is the answer. You can, I'll just, yes, Shri Vidya Mataji, Prabhuji or Mataji.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Actually, my question is one off from the verse which was taught today. If I'm right, Krishna tries to say to Arjuna, saying that it's not going to be that difficult taking up meditation if you keep practicing with detachment. So what does that detachment word mean?
Let's go there. Yes, the blessed Lord said, "O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind." The Lord addressed the fact that it is very difficult. He agrees. He's not saying, "Hey, what are you saying? It's so easy." No, it's very difficult. But it is possible by constant practice and detachment. Constantly practice to control your mind. My mind is wavering. No, my mind is wavering. No. Then again it wavers. Okay, chalo 5 minutes ke liye Instagram dekh leta hu. No, not like that. Constant practice. And with that constant practice, the spiritual muscles become strong, and then you do not get wavered. And then comes the part of detachment. You should also be confident in the fact that this is a unnecessary attachment. Like again, I will take the example of social media, Instagram, for example. You should know that this Instagram has nothing good for me, has hardly anything good for me, nearly nothing good for me. And hence, I should be determined in detaching myself from this unwanted object, or it's not an object, unwanted product, because it's doing nothing but wasting my time. So be detached from anything that helps you excel.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Subhash Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, you have a question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I wanted to ask you two questions.
Yeah, Prabhu.
One is, I wanted to know, how do you find your guru?
Yeah.
That is, how do you feel that this person is he can become my guru? How do you what is the feeling behind it?
So how do I, if I'm not wrong, what you're asking is, how do I find my guru? Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in Shastras it is mentioned that, in many of the scriptures it is mentioned that guru is like a mother. And what is one thing that you can trust your mother with? When you ask your mother, who is my father, your mother will point to a particular person and say, this is your father. And yes, today there is DNA testing and all that, but DNA testing is as good as if you trust the person who did the DNA test, right? So who is the best person you can believe when you want to know who your father is? Your mother.
Right.
Oh, no, I want to do a DNA test. A DNA test came back. Let's say it came back something else. Now, will you trust your mother, or will you test a DNA test guide technician? So that problem comes. So guru is someone who can tell you who your father is. A guru is someone who can point you to the Lord and say, see, he is your father. You have to surrender to him. I will tell you what to do, but this is how you please him, right? That is guru. And definitely I have found my guru. I found him in 2013, luckily. And that's what he did for me. He pointed to the Lord. I was an atheist. I was a proud atheist. I was like, science. And he used science to tell me how foolish I have been. And he explained to me very systematically through science that Lord exists. And he introduced me to this science. And here I am trying to do some small service to every one of you. So yes, Prabhuji, I have found my guru. And for next level of in the morning also, he will be taking Bhagavatam class. You can join him at 8 to 8:45. I think he takes Bhagavatam class. The links are always shared in the group. How through science we can have that? How science or majority of the scientists agree that God exists. So we'll discuss that some other day, Shikramata. Yeah, okay. I hope I answered your question, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Second question I want to ask you is, what is this particular significance of the Tulsi Mala that you wear on your neck, and the tikka that is on your forehead?
Okay. Again, this, if I go on explaining, it will take another 10 minutes. I'll definitely make a point of it to explain this when I have a short chapter. Is that okay? Maybe
okay,
the upcoming, or maybe after that. But yeah, it's a nice question. I will answer.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, who has not asked a question yet? Yes, Babu Prabhu, you have a question, comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
All are very small, simple questions.
Yeah,
I'll put it in one shot only. One is that, is it Vaishnavas should not be putting tilak, it's kumkum? That's one. And next one is, while doing japamala, let's say today I have decided to do 4 japamalas, and after 2 rounds, doing 1 or 2 rounds, finishing, suddenly I got a call or something I have to attend. So can I stop and do it and then again proceed with other 2? Or
well, we're living in this world where we have so many engagements, so it's always ideal to keep your phone away and chant. But during emergency situations, if it's a real emergency, of course you can pick up the phone, but you cannot continue where you left off. You have to start again.
No, after completing, let's say I have 2 rounds to complete, then if I take the thing,
it is allowed but not ideal. That's all I'm saying. In the beginning, yes, you can do that.
Beginning, and not doing at a stretch. Malas like 2 or 4, 6, like that I'm doing. So not at a one
it's
shot.
Best if you do it at stretch. Like when we, that's what we tell children also, right? When we give them the dinner or lunch or whatever, if they eat a little bit, then keep it aside, then eat some more. We tell them, if you do like this, you will not become you will not grow up and all that, right? Similarly, if you don't do all the rounds at a time, it's not going to really give you that punch that you want. But sure, at least you're somewhere. But ideal goal is to finish as much as possible in one sitting.
That is
You can break it down into 1 or 2 or 3 parts.
Because just a learner elbowed, so just started, because 5 months I've been started doing this. I think today is the first day I completed 16 rounds, and today being 9. Today is the very first day only.
You have finished this Gita course how many times?
This is I am attending for the yours. I'm attending for the 4th time.
Oh, four times you have, and 2 more times from Prabhu and Sridhar Prabhu and Namnish Prabhu, right?
One is first time Shobha Mataji, Shivangas Das, and Shri Prasad, and then now is yours.
Oh, okay, you finished nearly 7 or 8 times.
No, I don't know. Somehow it is getting feeling to do.
No, you have got that attachment. That's very nice. You have to get attached to Lords.
But 5 months it took, Prabhuji. Today is the first day on 9th to do 16th.
Took me much more than that. Took me much more than that.
That Tilak one I wanted to Kumkum.
I do not have any data on that, but Vaishnavas do avoid using Kumkum.
Okay.
I can maybe do some research and get back to you on that.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 more questions and then we conclude for today. Yes. Seema Mataji, you have a question or a comment? Are you there, Seema Mataji?
Hello.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
No, I wanted to know, this is just 18-day course. What if I want to study in detail?
Yeah, there is level 2 and there is level 3. Level 2 Gita will be in detail. What we're doing is browsing through the whole thought process.
Yeah.
of Gita. Ashtanga Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is we are going to establish foundation. Then once foundation is put, proper building can be done. That is what my guru is going to do. He is going to take level 2 of Bhagavad Gita. After level 2 of Bhagavad Gita, and even now if you want, you can join. Srimad Bhagavatam will be discussed. That is.
No, the timing is not suitable. I can only join at 9 in the night.
Is it?
Yeah.
We will figure something out. And also there are recordings online which you can go through and you can discuss personally your doubts. You can mail Prabhu. You can reach out to him on WhatsApp. So there are many. Are you from India or are you from?
No, I am from India. I am from Chennai.
Okay. In that case,
I'm in Chennai.
Figure something out. But 9 o'clock, Prabhu doesn't take class. Maybe he takes Bhagavad Gita. I will discuss with him and get back.
And should I start learning Sanskrit for it?
Oh, that's the thing. Whatever Sanskrit that you need is mentioned right under there by Prabhupada. See, word to word translation is there. Have you seen the Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah, I've seen.
Every word, when the Lord says Kaunteya, the perfect translation is given. Oh mighty arm son of Kunti. So you don't need to study Sanskrit to learn Bhagavad Gita, but learning Bhagavad Gita will definitely teach you Sanskrit.
Okay.
Know what I mean? Because that's what happened with me. I studied Sanskrit for 7-8 years in school, but then I completely forgot. Then Prabhupada, each and every word he illustrates so beautifully. I relearned Sanskrit through Prabhupada. No, Samskrita is not a prerequisite, but you will learn Samskrita through Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So, anybody who has not asked a question yet, okay. Home folder.
I would like to ask this question. How important is celibacy in achieving this goal? Your opinion on it?
Actually,
and is it practical in today's world?
Yes, it is practical, but the celibacy is strictly applicable only to Ashtanga Yoga, but also I can discuss further when this topic comes in upcoming chapter, where the Lord is going to discuss about Brahmacharya and 4 ashramas and all that. So there I can properly discuss this, because here it doesn't go in a flow. That thought process doesn't fit here. Is that okay?
All right.
It comes in upcoming chapters. Stay tuned till then.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Pungu Mataji, you have a question?
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I just have a silly question. How to learn the slokas? I always love. Sorry?
You mean recite them?
Because no, I want to memorize it, but I don't know Sanskrit. So I'm not very good at mug-upping things. I learn only if I understand that. So I'm not
What's
able
your
to.
mother tongue though? What's the language you speak at home?
My native Tamil.
So Tamil is very, very similar to Sanskrit, isn't it? Many words are, isn't it?
No.
All majority of it.
I think Hindi and Sanskrit are little bit similar, but Tamil is
no intersection in Tamil and Sanskrit.
No. So I always wish.
What you can do is read Prabhupada's translation of word to word and see what it means. Like we discussed, what Bhagavan means, what Vacha.
That's right.
Vachana and then Vacha. Asamshayam. Samshaya is, I'm sure it's the word in Tamil. So asamshayam. So like that, you can slowly understand what it means. First understand what it means, then you can easily listen.
Got it. Yeah, that's how I read. I did yoga teacher training, and I read all the asanas name by the meaning, and I'm able to remember still now. So,
exactly.
But the slokas are too big.
But what you do is you understand the sentence, and then you will be able to recite them. But without understanding meaning, as you just said, it's very nearly impossible.
It's very hard for me, at least. I don't know.
I agree.
And also, I want to teach it to my daughter too. But before that, I have to learn.
We have children classes. You can enroll her for that.
Okay. Do you have that information in the website?
Yeah, it's up in the website. I think February she can join.
But yeah, for us, timing is a big challenge. I'm in Chicago, so now it is morning. I'm fine. I'm just crushing the time and attending. But for children, time zone, it's different, right? They have schools. But I will try. Yeah, sure.
You can at least show them some recordings. I think it's going to. You can figure something out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Last question. Yeah, Bhavana Mataji, you have a question?
Yes, please. I have a question. First of all, thank you very much. Heartfelt gratitude for this forum, and I would like to thank.
All glories to my Guru.
Yeah, and I would also like to thank the person who shared this with me in one of the groups. I really don't remember who did it, but heartfelt gratitude to that person also. And I feel that I think I am one in the group who knows the least, because I heard the word demigod also for the first time. मुझे नहीं पता था.
Devata.
Yeah.
You got the word Devata though, right?
Yeah. So Devata and Bhagwan are different, right? So Bhagwan, yeah. So I didn't even know that. So and my question or my doubt here is, all this while we've been I've been doing Om Namah Shivaya or Namah Shivaya, and now I'm doing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare. So it might sound stupid, but aisa lagta hai ki, this is what I've been doing for 30 years. And am I right? Sort of, I really don't know. Should my mandir also, I was thinking that I have because my mother-in-law is with me, and so we have a lot of Bhagwan Ji ki murtis, and I feel ki usse, I am unable to do justice to my puja because of so many pictures, and
exactly, it's a whole
I was
kind
thinking
of thing. We have everybody arranged.
And it suffocates me. Sitting in front of the puja suffocates me, because I feel I'm not doing justice to whatever I've put there. I can't maintain the
assembly. It's a whole assembly, all.
Yeah. So it is. So right now I have to make an effort to do japa. It's just that because with my breath, Namah Shivaya goes on, because I've been doing it, right? So now I'm doing
that's what has come naturally to you. But what you should realize is, if you study what teachings of Shiva are, for example, Srimad Bhagavatam is his discussion with Mother Parvati. It's his discussion with Sati. Whatever he is discussing, one last discussion of his was heard by Shuka. We'll discuss that further, who this Shuka is and all that. But that was brought down to us, a conversation between Shiva and Parvati. So what is Shiva saying to Parvati? He is saying, look at the glories of my Lord. He's so amazing. And of course, worshipping Shiva is not wrong. But what would be better? Would it be better to worship Shiva or listen to his teachings, follow his teachings? What would make him happier? And that's what Shiva is very happy with you if you glorify him by being a devotee of the Lord. Even he is very happy. That's the only way to make all the demigods happy. The other day, one of the Prabhus was asking, is there a way to make all the demigods happy as well? Yasmin tushte jagat tushtaha. Once in the Leela, the Lord was showing, he came to Draupadi's kutir in the forest, and he takes one grain of one piece of vegetable and he eats it and he burps. And the whole universe that day had instantaneously had a filled belly. And even demigods were like, hey, I didn't eat, but why am I feeling full? The Lord, if you satisfy the Lord, all the demigods, including the supreme demigod, Lord Shiva, everybody is happy. Everybody is happy.
Okay, so I shouldn't have any guilt feeling, right?
You don't need to. Shiva is so happy with you.
Yeah, but that's I knew that it sounds stupid, but I wanted to ask this for last 2 days. So thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Even if you see the teachings of Lord Shiva, he says Rama Rama Rame 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 Manorame Sasrama Tatulyam Rama Naman. His wife is Vaishnavi. His wife is Vaishnavi, and he's always this. Why is she Vaishnavi? Because she is wife of Shiva. Shiva talks nothing but Lord Rama's glory, Lord Vishnu's glory, Lord Krishna's glory. He is always talking about Vishnu so much that wife became Vaishnavi.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Namaste. Yeah.
So I think we can end it here today. We'll meet tomorrow with the next chapter, the 7th chapter. Thanks for your time, everybody.